God says they hurt you, but they did not destroy my plan, my child. I know there are moments when the silence becomes almost unbearable, not because the world around you is loud, but because your heart keeps replaying memories you wish you could erase. You smile when people ask if you are doing well. You tell them you are fine, you keep moving, you keep working, you keep showing up. But when the day is over and the room grows quiet, the past has a way of finding you again. You remember the words that were spoken over your life, the promises that were broken, the people who walked away without looking back, the nights you cried yourself to sleep while wondering what you had done wrong. You remember how deeply you trusted someone who chose to betray that trust. You remember giving your best only to be treated as though it was never enough. You remember praying for relationships that still fell apart. You remember believing in people who eventually gave up on you. And somewhere along the way, a question began growing inside your heart. God, where were you? You may never have spoken those words aloud, but I heard them. I heard them in every silent tear. I heard them in every sigh. I heard them in every lonely drive home. I heard them in every prayer that ended with disappointment. My child, let me answer that question today. I was there. I was there when they spoke those painful words. I was there when your heart shattered into pieces no one else could see. I was there when you felt abandoned. I was there when you questioned your worth. I was there when you believed you had been forgotten. Not for 1 second did I turn my eyes away from you. I counted every tear. I heard every heartbeat. I knew every fear before you could even find the words to describe it. The world saw the moment you broke. I saw the moment you chose not to give up. That is the part no one else noticed. They saw your weakness. I saw your courage. They saw another failure. I saw another opportunity to shape your character. They saw someone who had been rejected. I saw someone I was preparing for a purpose far greater than they could understand. My child, there are people who believe they have the power to define your future simply because they wounded your past. Do not believe that lie. No human being possesses that kind of authority. The people who rejected you were never the authors of your destiny. The people who betrayed you never held the pen that writes your story. Only I do. People may delay your journey. They may complicate your path. They may leave scars that require time to heal. But they cannot cancel what I have spoken over your life. What I have blessed, no person can curse. What I have called, no rejection can erase. What I have planned, no betrayal can destroy. You have spent too much time believing that the worst thing someone did to you became the most important chapter of your life. It did not. It became one chapter, not the entire story, my child. I know it did not feel that way. Pain has a strange way of convincing you that it will last forever. When your heart is wounded, every tomorrow begins to look like yesterday. You expect another disappointment, another betrayal, another closed door, another goodbye. Slowly, fear begins making decisions for you. You stop trusting, you stop hoping, you stop dreaming, not because you no longer desire good things, but because you no longer believe they are possible for someone who has been hurt as deeply as you have. That is exactly where the enemy wants you to remain, not because he can stop my plan, but because he hopes you will stop believing in it. He knows something you may have forgotten. A discouraged heart rarely walks through open doors. A fearful heart often refuses the very blessing it has prayed for. That is why he keeps reminding you of your wounds. He wants yesterday to become your prison, but my child, I did not rescue you so you could spend the rest of your life living inside memories that no longer have authority over you. I have not called you to camp beside your pain. I have called you to walk beyond it. There is a difference between remembering what happened and allowing it to control who you become. Some of you still introduce yourselves to the future through the language of your past. I was abandoned. I was cheated. I was rejected. I was betrayed. Those things happened, but they are not your identity. You are not what they did to you. You are who I say you are. You are my beloved child, chosen, known, seen, protected, even when you did not feel protected, loved, even when you felt completely alone. My child, think about Joseph. His brothers sold him. People he trusted betrayed him for pieces of silver. He lost his home. He lost his family. He lost his freedom. Then, after doing what was right, he was falsely accused and thrown into prison. If anyone had reason to believe his life was ruined, it was Joseph. Yet while others believed they were ending his story, I was quietly positioning him for the very future I had promised. The prison became preparation. The betrayal became redirection. The delay became development. Years later, Joseph looked back and understood something that many people never discover. What others intended for harm, I was able to use for good. Notice carefully. I did not call evil good. Betrayal was still betrayal. Injustice was still injustice. But evil never had the final word. Neither will it in your life, my child. Perhaps someone listening today carries a different kind of wound. Not betrayal, but financial hardship. You worked honestly. You sacrificed. You planned carefully. Yet somehow everything still became difficult. Bills began arriving faster than opportunities. Savings disappeared. Unexpected expenses kept appearing. You lay awake wondering how you would make it through another month. Maybe you even felt embarrassed, ashamed to admit how hard life had become. You wondered whether I had forgotten your needs. Listen carefully. Your bank account has never determined my ability to provide. Your circumstances have never limited my resources. There were seasons when the widow had only a handful of flour. There were seasons when my people stood before impossible situations with almost nothing in their hands. Yet I remained faithful. I have never depended on human economies to accomplish my purposes. Do not confuse a difficult season with a defeated future. You may be walking through lack today, but lack is not your permanent identity. I am still Jehovah Jireh, your provider. My child, perhaps the deepest wound is not what someone did. Perhaps it is what they made you believe about yourself. They convinced you that you were unlovable, replaceable, not smart enough, not attractive enough, not successful enough, not worthy enough. Little by little, those lies settled into your heart until they sounded like your own voice. Today, I want to silence those lies. You were never created to measure your worth by the opinions of broken people. People judge according to what they can see. I see what no one else sees. I saw the compassion hidden beneath your quietness. I saw your generosity when no one thanked you. I saw your integrity when dishonesty would have been easier. I saw the prayers you whispered when everyone else believed you had stopped believing. I have always seen the real you. And the real you is far more valuable than you realize. My child, if I had answered every prayer exactly when you wanted, if I had removed every difficult person immediately, if I had prevented every disappointment, you might never have discovered how deeply my grace could sustain you. You might never have learned to depend upon me instead of human approval. You might never have recognized the strength I placed within your spirit. Pain was never my desire for you, but I refused to allow your pain to become meaningless. Every tear became a seed. Every disappointment became preparation. Every lonely season became fertile ground where faith quietly took root. Even now, while you struggle to understand everything that happened, I am weaving together a future that will make today's confusion one day become tomorrow's testimony. So before you allow your heart to return once more to yesterday, hear me clearly. They hurt you. Yes, they wounded your heart. Yes, they left scars. Yes, but they did not destroy my plan. They never had that power. And in the next part, I will reveal something that may surprise you. I will show you why I allowed certain people to leave your life and how some of the greatest blessings I have prepared for you could never have arrived if they had stayed. My child, there is something I have wanted to tell you for a long time. Not every person I removed from your life was your enemy, and not every person I allowed to leave was your loss. I know how difficult that is to believe, especially when you loved them, especially when you prayed for them, especially when you imagined a future that included them. When they walked away, it felt as though they had taken a part of your heart with them. You replayed every conversation. You searched for answers. You blamed yourself for things that were never yours to carry. You wondered if you had loved better, spoken differently, or tried harder. Would they still be here? My child, some departures have nothing to do with your worth. They have everything to do with my direction. You often ask me to bless the road you are already walking. Sometimes my answer is to place you on an entirely different road, and the people who refuse to walk that road with you cannot remain where I am leading you. Do not mistake every ending for punishment. Some endings are protection wrapped in disappointment. You only see the goodbye. I see everything that would have happened if they had stayed. I saw the conversations that would have slowly stolen your peace. I saw the compromises you would have made just to keep someone from leaving. I saw the dreams you would have quietly abandoned because someone else could not understand the purpose I placed inside you. I saw the tears that had not yet fallen, the betrayal that had not yet happened, the exhaustion that would have consumed your heart. So I closed a chapter before it destroyed the story I was writing. My child, you have asked me many times, why did not you stop them? I understand why you ask. Love naturally wants to hold on. But I created every human being with the freedom to choose. Some people choose kindness, others choose selfishness, some choose loyalty, others choose convenience. I do not force hearts to remain where they no longer desire to be. Instead, I remain with the heart that has been broken. That is where you found me, not because I abandoned you first, but because everyone else seemed to leave. You discovered my presence in places you never would have searched during seasons of comfort. The valley became the place where your relationship with me grew deeper. The loneliness became the place where my voice became clearer. The silence became the place where you finally heard mine. My child, do you remember how much of yourself you were willing to sacrifice just to keep certain people happy? You apologized for things that were never your fault. You lowered your standards. You ignored the quiet warnings I placed within your spirit. You accepted treatment that you would never have wanted for someone you love. Not because you were weak, but because you were afraid of losing people. Fear has convinced many of my children that being alone is worse than being mistreated. It is not. Never confuse loneliness with failure. Sometimes loneliness is simply the space I create before introducing the right people into your life. There are friendships that strengthen your faith. There are relationships that draw you closer to me. There are people who celebrate your calling instead of competing with it. I have prepared those kinds of relationships for you, but they cannot grow in the same soil where constant dishonor is allowed to remain. My child, there are also dreams that had to die before my purpose could fully live. I know that sentence is painful. Some of you dreamed of a marriage that never happened, a business that failed, a career that suddenly ended, a home you had to leave, a future you had carefully imagined. When those dreams fell apart, you believed your life had fallen apart with them. But your dream has never been greater than my purpose. Sometimes I allow a smaller dream to end because I refuse to let you miss the greater one. Think of Abraham. He did not know where the journey would end when I asked him to leave everything familiar behind. Think of Ruth. If she had refused to leave the pain of her past, she never would have walked into the future I had prepared. Think of Peter. He left his fishing nets without fully understanding where they would lead him. Faith has always required movement before full understanding. You are no different. My child, I know financial pressure has also tested your heart. Perhaps you have worked harder than ever before, yet it seems as though there is never enough. You pay one bill only to receive another. You save a little, and an unexpected expense appears. You have quietly wondered if I see how exhausting it has become. I do. I know the weight you carry when you check your bank account. I know the concern you feel before opening another envelope. I know the embarrassment that whispers, "You should be further along by now." Do not listen to that voice. Your value has never been measured by your income. The world celebrates wealth. I look at faithfulness. I have seen you continue giving even when you had little. I have seen you choose honesty when dishonesty would have seemed easier. I have seen you refuse to lose your integrity for temporary gain. Those choices matter more than you know. Money may solve some problems, but character determines what you do after the problems are solved. That is why I have been building your character while you waited for provision. My child, you have wondered why progress has seemed slower than expected, perhaps because I am building something that will last. A house built on sand rises quickly. A house built upon solid rock takes longer. When storms come, the difference becomes obvious. I am not preparing you for temporary success. I am preparing you for lasting peace. Peace that remains even when circumstances change. Joy that survives disappointment. faith that does not depend upon perfect conditions. These are treasures that cannot be purchased. They are formed, little by little, prayer by prayer, day by day. My child, I also want you to release the burden of proving yourself. You have spent too many years trying to convince people that they underestimated you, trying to earn the approval of those who already decided they would never understand you, trying to explain your heart to people committed to misunderstanding it. Stop fighting battles I never asked you to fight. Not everyone will recognize the person I created you to become, and that is all right. Your purpose has never depended upon universal acceptance. Even my son was misunderstood. He was rejected by many who stood close enough to hear his voice. If they misunderstood him, do not be surprised when some misunderstand you. Remain faithful anyway. Love anyway, forgive anyway, keep walking anyway. Because your future is not waiting for the approval of people. It is waiting for your obedience to me, my child. One day you will meet someone who treats your heart with the kindness you once begged others to show. One day you will stand in a place where peace feels natural instead of rare. One day you will realize that what felt like the end was quietly becoming the beginning. And when that day comes, you will not spend your time wishing the past had been different. You will thank me for carrying you through it. You will understand that I was never ignoring your pain. I was redeeming it. Every scar will become a reminder of my faithfulness. Every tear will become part of your testimony. Every goodbye will point toward the hello I was already preparing. So my child, do not run back toward the doors I have already closed. Do not build your future inside memories that no longer belong to you. Lift your eyes. Take another step. Trust me with the road ahead, because while you have been grieving what you lost, I have been preparing something you never imagined possible. And in the next part, I will show you why the deepest wounds often become the very place where my greatest healing begins, and how the pain that almost broke you will one day become the testimony that strengthens someone else. My child, there is something I want you to understand today. The deepest wound in your life was never meant to become the deepest truth about your life. Yet for so long you have allowed one painful chapter to speak louder than every promise I have ever spoken over you. When someone betrayed you, you began believing you could never trust again. When someone rejected you, you began believing you were not enough. When someone walked away, you quietly concluded that everyone eventually would. That is what pain tries to do. It takes one experience and convinces you it is your identity. But my child, your pain may explain your tears. It does not define your future. I never intended for your scars to become the place where hope dies. I intended them to become the place where my grace becomes visible. Many people think healing means forgetting. That is not how I heal. Healing is not pretending the wound never existed. Healing is remembering it without allowing it to control your heart. There will always be moments when memories return, a familiar place, a familiar song, a familiar date on the calendar. Suddenly your heart feels heavy again. Do not be discouraged when that happens. Healing is not measured by whether you remember. Healing is measured by whether the memory still owns you, and little by little it no longer will. My child, you have asked me why recovery has taken so long. Why the sadness sometimes returns. Why trust still feels difficult. Because healing is not an event. It is a journey. When a tree loses one of its largest branches during a storm, new life does not appear overnight. For a season, all anyone sees is the broken place. But beneath the bark, life quietly continues. New growth begins where the damage once existed. Eventually, the tree becomes strong again. Not because the storm never happened, but because life proves stronger than the storm. So it is with you. What broke your heart is not stronger than my ability to restore it. You may not see every change happening inside you today, but heaven does. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of bitterness, you are healing. Every time you choose hope instead of despair, you are healing. Every time you pray even though your heart still aches, you are healing. Do not underestimate these quiet victories. They are far greater than you realize. My child, some of you have become angry with yourselves. You keep asking, why did not I see the warning signs? Why did I trust them? Why was I so blind? Listen carefully. Stop punishing yourself for having a kind heart. You loved sincerely. You believed the best about people. You hoped they would value what you offered. Those qualities are not weaknesses. They reflect my own heart. The problem was never that you loved. The problem was that someone chose not to honor that love. Do not allow another person's choices to convince you that compassion is a mistake. Remain kind. Remain generous. Remain loving. Just allow me to give you wisdom alongside your kindness. There is a difference between loving everyone and trusting everyone. Love is my command. Trust is something that grows over time. Wisdom knows the difference. My child, there is another burden I want you to release, the burden of comparison. You look at other people's lives and wonder why theirs seems easier. You see families that appear happy. You see businesses succeeding. You see people buying homes, taking vacations, celebrating milestones. Meanwhile, you wonder if you somehow missed your opportunity, but you are comparing your private struggles to someone else's public moments. You cannot see the prayers they have prayed, the tears they have cried, the battles they have fought. Only I see every story in its fullness. So stop measuring your life by what appears on the surface. Your journey has always been unique. Your calling has always been unique, and your timing will be unique as well. Do not envy another person's harvest while I am still preparing your field. The harvest is coming, but first the roots must grow deeper. My child, I know financial pressure has weighed heavily upon your heart. There were moments when you wondered whether you would have enough to pay the next bill, moments when unexpected expenses left you discouraged, moments when you quietly asked, Lord, how much longer? I heard every one of those prayers. Do not mistake my silence for indifference. While you were praying for provision, I was also teaching you dependence. While you were asking me to change your circumstances, I was strengthening your faith. One day, when abundance comes, you will remember these difficult seasons. You will not waste what I have given you. You will become generous because you remember what it felt like to have little. You will encourage those who are struggling because you remember your own sleepless nights. Your hardship is shaping compassion that comfort alone could never produce. Nothing has been wasted, not even your financial struggles, my child. There are people who hurt you and never apologized. That still troubles your heart. You wanted acknowledgement. You wanted justice. You wanted someone to admit they were wrong. Instead, they moved on with their lives, and you were left carrying questions they never answered. I understand. Justice matters to me, truth matters to me, but do not allow your future to depend upon an apology that may never come. If you wait for every person to admit their wrongdoing before you begin healing, you are placing your freedom into someone else's hands. Your healing does not depend upon their repentance. It depends upon my presence. Let me carry what you cannot. I know how to deal with every heart. I know every hidden motive. I know every act that no one else saw. Nothing escapes my attention. You do not need to become the judge. You only need to trust the one who judges with perfect wisdom and perfect mercy. My child, have you ever noticed how gold becomes pure? Not by avoiding the fire, but by passing through it. The fire does not create the gold, it reveals it. The same is true of your faith. The difficult seasons did not create the strength within you. They revealed the strength I had already placed there. Years ago, you would have collapsed under burdens that you now quietly carry with grace. Years ago, one disappointment would have stolen your peace for weeks. Now you recover more quickly. You pray sooner. You trust deeper. You have grown. Perhaps not in the ways the world celebrates, but in the ways heaven values most. That is real progress. That is lasting transformation. My child, one day, someone will sit across from you carrying the same pain you carry today. They will believe their life is over. They will think God has forgotten them. They will wonder if healing is even possible. And you will tell them your story, not because everything was easy, but because I was faithful. Your scars will speak hope where your words alone never could. Your testimony will become someone else's reason to keep believing. The very wound that almost convinced you to give up will become the place where someone else discovers that I never give up on my children. That is how I redeem pain. I do not simply heal it. I transform it into hope. So, my child, do not be ashamed of the chapters that made you cry. Do not hide the seasons that nearly broke you, because I am writing a story so beautiful that one day people will not see your pain first. They will see my faithfulness. And in the next part, I will reveal why the blessing you have been praying for requires a heart that has first been healed, and why the next season of your life will be defined not by what you lost, but by what I am about to restore. My child, there is something beautiful about a sunrise. No matter how long the night has lasted, no matter how violent the storm has been, morning always arrives. It never asks the darkness for permission. It simply comes. That is how my restoration works. It does not wait for every wound to disappear before it begins. It quietly rises while you are still learning to trust again. Some of you are waiting to feel completely healed before taking another step. You believe that once every fear is gone, once every painful memory disappears, once your confidence returns, then you will finally move forward. But that is not how faith grows. Faith does not wait until fear leaves. Faith walks while fear is still whispering. Courage is not the absence of pain. Courage is deciding that pain will no longer decide your future. That is what I have been teaching you. Not how to avoid suffering, but how to keep walking through it with me, my child. There was a time when one harsh word could ruin your entire week. One disappointment could steal your joy. One rejection could convince you to stop trying. Look at you now. You have endured storms you once believed would destroy you. You have survived nights when your tears were your only conversation. You have carried responsibilities while your own heart felt exhausted. And somehow you are still here. Do not overlook that miracle. The enemy wanted you to quit. He wanted discouragement to become your identity. He wanted disappointment to convince you that I had forgotten you. But you are still standing. Not because you are stronger than everyone else, but because my hand has never left yours, even when you could not feel it, even when you questioned it, even when you doubted my presence. I remained faithful. My faithfulness has never depended upon your feelings. It has always depended upon my character. And my character never changes. My child, I know there are dreams that still live quietly inside your heart. Dreams you no longer speak about because you are afraid of being disappointed again. Perhaps you stopped applying for opportunities because rejection became too familiar. Perhaps you stopped believing love could find you. Perhaps you stopped imagining financial freedom because debt has been your companion for so long. Perhaps you stopped praying boldly because too many prayers seemed unanswered. Listen carefully. Do not bury the dreams I planted simply because life became difficult. A seed buried in the ground looks forgotten. Yet that is exactly where life begins. Some dreams must spend time beneath the surface before anyone can see them growing. Your future is much like that. You think nothing is happening because you cannot see visible progress. But beneath the surface, I am preparing opportunities. I am aligning people. I am opening conversations you know nothing about. I am moving circumstances that no amount of human effort could arrange. You only see today's delay. I already see tomorrow's breakthrough. My child, there is another reason I have allowed this season to last longer than you expected. I wanted to teach you the difference between dependence and desperation. There was a time when every closed door sent you into panic. Every delay felt like disaster. Every silence convinced you that something had gone terribly wrong. Now, when another obstacle appears, you pray first. You seek my wisdom. You wait before reacting. That is growth. You may not celebrate it, but heaven does, because peace is not found in having every answer. Peace is found in trusting the one who already knows every answer. That peace has been quietly growing inside you. No one else may notice it, but I do. Every moment you choose faith instead of panic, your soul becomes stronger. Every time you surrender something you cannot control, your heart becomes freer. Every prayer spoken through tears becomes another stone in the foundation I am building beneath your future. My child, I also know how deeply financial pressure has tested your faith. There were moments when you wondered if you would lose everything. You counted every dollar. You postponed your own needs so someone else could have what they needed. You worried about groceries, about rent, about medical bills, about retirement, about providing for your family. You smiled in public while privately wondering how much longer you could keep going. I saw every sacrifice. Nothing escaped my attention. The world measures wealth by possessions. I measure wealth by faithfulness. You remained honest when dishonesty seemed easier. You continued helping others even when your own resources were limited. You refused to allow hardship to harden your heart. Those decisions matter in my kingdom far more than you realize. Do not believe the lie that your difficult season means I have abandoned you. Provision is not always immediate, but my presence has always been constant. And where my presence remains, hope remains. My child, some of you have become tired of waiting. Not angry, just tired. You are weary of beginning again, weary of hoping again, weary of rebuilding what has already been broken once before. I understand that weariness. Even faithful hearts grow tired. That is why I never asked you to carry tomorrow. I only asked you to trust me today. Do not carry next year's worries into today's strength. Today's grace is enough for today's journey. Tomorrow's grace will arrive tomorrow. That is how I have always cared for my children. One day at a time, one step at a time, one sunrise at a time. You do not need strength for the entire journey today. You only need enough faith for the next step, and I promise you I will provide it. My child, the people who hurt you believed they were writing the final chapter of your story. Some thought you would never recover. Some assumed you would remain broken forever. Some forgot about you completely, but they never understood something. They were only witnesses to one chapter. I alone hold the entire book. The author never abandons his story halfway through. I have not finished writing yours. The chapter you are living today is not the conclusion. It is the turning point. There is restoration ahead. There is peace ahead. There is joy ahead. There are relationships that will honor your heart instead of breaking it. There are opportunities that will value your gifts instead of overlooking them. There are blessings that will remind you why I asked you not to give up. Trust me, not because every answer has already appeared, but because the one who holds your future has never failed. My child, lift your eyes. Stop staring at the closed door behind you. Look toward the horizon I have prepared. The best days of your life are not hidden in yesterday. They are waiting in the future I am leading you toward. Do not allow old pain to become a permanent address. Do not build a home inside memories that I have already called you to leave. Walk with me one faithful step after another. Because I am not only healing what was broken, I am preparing something so much greater that one day you will understand why I never allowed the pain to have the final word. And in the next part, I will reveal how I restore what the enemy believed was lost forever, and why the season ahead will surprise you in ways you cannot yet imagine. My child, there is a moment that comes after every long winter. It does not arrive with loud celebration. It does not announce itself with thunder. It comes quietly, almost unnoticed. A single green leaf appears on a tree that once looked dead. A flower pushes through frozen ground. The first warm breeze replaces months of cold silence. Everything changes, not all at once, but enough to remind you that winter was never meant to last forever. That is where many of you are today. You believe you are still standing in winter, but heaven already sees the first signs of spring. The restoration you have prayed for has already begun. Not because every problem has disappeared, but because I have already begun changing the direction of your life. My child, you have spent years asking me to restore what was taken from you. Restore your peace. Restore your confidence. Restore your finances. Restore your family. Restore your joy. Those prayers never disappeared into silence. I heard every one of them. But understand this. My restoration is rarely the same as your expectation. You often ask me to return exactly what you lost. Sometimes I do, but many times I give you something far greater. You wanted the relationship back. I wanted to heal the heart that believed it could not live without it. You wanted the old opportunity returned. I wanted to lead you toward one that would never require you to compromise your integrity. You wanted the same door reopened. I was already building a better one. Do not mistake a different answer for an unanswered prayer. Many of my greatest blessings arrive wearing clothes you were not expecting. My child, there is a reason I have not allowed bitterness to become your permanent companion. Because bitterness can never hold the blessing I am preparing. You cannot carry both. One hand cannot hold yesterday's resentment while the other reaches for tomorrow's promise. Sooner or later, one must be released. I know forgiveness feels unfair. You wonder why you should let go when someone else caused the pain. But forgiveness has never been about pretending the wound did not happen. Forgiveness is refusing to let the wound continue ruling your future. It is placing justice into my hands instead of carrying it in your own. You were never created to carry that burden. It is too heavy. Leave it with me. I know how to deal with every heart. I know what no one else knows. Trust my justice. Free your own heart, my child. Some of you still believe you have fallen behind. You compare your life to others. You see people your age enjoying retirement, buying homes, watching their grandchildren grow, traveling, building successful businesses. Meanwhile, you are wondering how you will pay next month's bills. You quietly ask, Lord, have I missed my chance? No, my child. You have not. I do not measure time the way the world does. The world believes life peaks at a certain age. I have called people in their youth. I have called people in their old age. Moses was 80 before leading my people. Caleb was 85 when he still asked for the mountain. Sarah laughed because she believed it was too late. Yet I had only just begun. Stop believing the lie that your best years are behind you. As long as I give you breath, purpose still remains. Hope still remains. Your assignment is not finished. My child, financial pressure has made many of you question your future. You have wondered if you will ever experience stability again. Perhaps you have lived paycheck to paycheck for years. Perhaps unexpected medical bills changed everything. Perhaps inflation has stretched every dollar further than you imagined possible. You have prayed, Lord, I do not need luxury. I just want peace. I understand that prayer, and I want you to know something today. Provision is more than money. Provision is wisdom. Provision is favor. Provision is opportunity. Provision is the right person entering your life at the right time. Provision is strength when your body feels weak. Provision is peace when your circumstances remain uncertain. I have been providing in ways you have not always recognized. Did I not give you strength on the days you believed you had none? Did I not send encouragement through unexpected people? Did I not keep opening small doors just when another one seemed to close? Those were not accidents. Those were reminders that my hand has remained upon your life, and my provision is not finished, not even close. My child, there is something beautiful about a heart that has suffered and still chooses kindness. That kind of heart resembles mine. You could have become cold. You could have become cynical. You could have decided never to trust anyone again. Instead, you kept praying. You kept believing. Even when your faith felt small, even when your hope seemed fragile. Do you know how precious that is to me? Heaven celebrates those quiet acts of faith. The world applauds loud success. I delight in faithful hearts. Every morning you chose to begin again, I noticed. Every evening you thanked me despite unanswered questions, I noticed. Every time you encouraged someone while carrying your own burden, I noticed. Nothing has escaped my attention. Nothing, my child. I want to ask you one question today. If I placed your greatest blessing in front of you tomorrow, would you still be looking backward? Would you still be searching for the people who left? Would you still be trying to reopen doors I already closed? Would you still be waiting for an apology before allowing yourself to live again? Do not let yesterday become so loud that you cannot hear the future calling your name. Lift your eyes. The road ahead is not empty. It is full of possibilities you have not yet imagined. There are people you have not yet met who will restore your faith in kindness. There are conversations that will renew your hope. There are opportunities that will remind you why I asked you to wait. Your story did not end with betrayal. It did not end with loss. It did not end with financial hardship. Those chapters were painful, but they were never the conclusion. My child, there will come a morning when you wake up and realize something has changed. Not only around you, but within you. The pain that once controlled your thoughts no longer holds the same power. The names that once brought tears now bring peace. The fear that once kept you awake no longer speaks as loudly. You will smile again without forcing it. You will laugh without guilt. You will dream without fear. And you will finally understand something I have been trying to teach you all along. Healing was never about returning to the person you used to be. Healing was about becoming the person I created you to become. Someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more compassionate, someone whose faith no longer depends upon perfect circumstances. My child, hold on just a little longer. Do not give up now. You have come too far to surrender within sight of restoration. I know the waiting has been difficult. I know the tears have been real. But so is my promise. I will not waste your pain. I will not forget your prayers. I will not abandon the work I began in you. The same hands that carried you through your darkest valley are the same hands preparing your brightest sunrise. Trust me, walk with me, keep believing, because the chapter ahead will not be remembered for who hurt you. It will be remembered for how faithfully I restored you. And in the final part, I will reveal why the greatest victory over your past is not proving your enemies wrong, but living the life I always intended for you. And I will pray over every wounded heart that is ready to step into a brand new beginning. My child, as these moments together come to an end, there is one final truth I want you to carry into tomorrow. Do not let your life be remembered only by what happened to you. Let it be remembered by what I did through you. For too long you have introduced yourself through your pain. You have said, I was betrayed. I lost everything. I went through divorce. I was abandoned. I struggled financially. I trusted the wrong people. Those chapters are real. I am not asking you to pretend they never happened, but I am asking you to stop allowing them to become the title of your story. The title of your story has never been betrayal. It has always been redemption, because I have never specialized in perfect beginnings. I specialize in impossible endings. I have always taken broken pieces and created something beautiful. I have always brought life where others saw only loss. I have always turned ashes into beauty. That is who I am. And I have not changed, my child. Perhaps today you still carry questions that have never been answered. Why did they leave? Why did they betray your trust? Why did your marriage fall apart? Why did your business fail after years of honest work? Why did the people you helped disappear when you needed them most? Why did financial hardship arrive after you had tried so hard to do everything right? Some of those answers may not come during this lifetime. Not because I am hiding them from you, but because knowing every answer is not what will heal your heart. Knowing me will. There are mysteries that only eternity will fully explain. Until then, trust my heart, even when you cannot understand my hands. You have trusted me during seasons of blessing. Now trust me during seasons of waiting, because my character does not change when your circumstances do. My child, I know there were days when you believed you had reached your limit. You smiled while carrying burdens no one knew existed. You encouraged others while quietly wondering who would encourage you. You continued showing kindness after being treated unfairly. You kept praying after prayers seemed unanswered. There were mornings when simply getting out of bed required more courage than anyone else could see, and still you kept going. Do not ever believe those moments were insignificant. Heaven saw every one of them. Angels witnessed your perseverance. Your Father celebrated every quiet act of faith that the world overlooked. The greatest victories are rarely the loudest ones. Sometimes the greatest victory is simply refusing to give up. Sometimes the greatest miracle is choosing hope one more day. And my child, you have done that more times than you realize. My child, I also want you to stop believing that your future depends upon the people who hurt you. Some of you secretly hope they will come back and apologize. Some hope they will finally recognize your value. Some hope they will regret everything they did. Perhaps they will, perhaps they never will. But hear me clearly. Your healing has never depended upon their regret. Your future has never depended upon their approval. Your destiny has never depended upon their opinion. I determined your purpose before they ever entered your life, and I will fulfill that purpose whether they applaud it or not. Do not waste another year trying to prove your worth to people who have already chosen not to see it. Live the life I have called you to live, not to make them jealous, not to prove them wrong, but because I created you for freedom, freedom from bitterness, freedom from fear, freedom from shame, freedom from the chains of yesterday. That freedom is already waiting for you. Take hold of it, my child. There are blessings already moving toward you. You cannot see them yet, but they are coming. There are friendships built on honesty instead of manipulation. There are relationships built on respect instead of control. There are opportunities built on integrity instead of compromise. There is peace that no longer depends upon perfect circumstances. There is joy that survives difficult seasons. There is financial wisdom that will replace constant anxiety. There is hope that will grow stronger than your fear. Do not stop walking now. The road has been long. The waiting has been painful. But you are closer than you think. Not because life will suddenly become easy, but because your heart has become stronger. You are no longer the same person who first entered this valley. You have changed, your faith has matured, your compassion has deepened, your dependence upon me has become stronger. That transformation is part of the miracle, my child. One day, someone will ask you, how did you survive everything you went through? You will smile, not because the memories disappeared, but because they no longer define you. You will tell them, it was not my strength. It was not my wisdom. It was not luck. It was God's faithfulness. You will tell them about the nights when you thought everything was over. You will tell them about the bills you did not know how to pay. You will tell them about the heartbreak that almost convinced you never to love again. And then you will tell them something even greater, that I never left you, that I stayed beside you when everyone else walked away, that I carried you when you had no strength left, that my grace proved greater than your deepest pain. Your testimony will become hope for someone who believes there is no hope left. That is how I redeem suffering, not by pretending it never happened, but by allowing my faithfulness to shine brighter than the darkness ever could. My child, before we part today, I want us to pray together. Heavenly Father, thank you for every precious soul listening to these words. You know every hidden wound. You know every broken dream. You know every betrayal, every disappointment, every sleepless night, and every tear that no one else has ever seen. Lord, touch every heart that still carries pain from the past. Replace bitterness with peace. Replace fear with courage. Replace shame with the confidence that comes from knowing they are deeply loved by you. For those struggling financially, provide not only for their needs, but also give them wisdom, favor, endurance, and hope. Open doors that no one can shut. Lead them toward opportunities prepared by your hand. For those who have been rejected, remind them that they are fully accepted by you. For those who have been abandoned, surround them with your unfailing presence. For those who are tired, renew their strength. For those who feel forgotten, let them experience your nearness in a fresh and powerful way. Heal every wounded memory. Restore every weary soul. Teach each one of us to release yesterday into your hands and to walk boldly toward the future you have prepared. Let our lives become testimonies of your goodness. May people see not how deeply we were wounded, but how faithfully you restored us. We ask all these things in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. My child, as you leave this message today, I want you to remember one sentence. They hurt you, but they never held your future. Only I do. Walk forward without fear. Forgive without carrying yesterday. Hope without apology. Dream again. Love again. Trust again. Because the pain you survived was never meant to become the end of your story. It became the place where my grace met your brokenness. And from that place, I am creating a future more beautiful than you can yet imagine. Go in peace, my child. Leave the past where it belongs. Lift your eyes toward the road ahead. I am already there, waiting for you. And I promise you this. The greatest chapter of your life will not be about who wounded you. It will be about how faithfully I healed you, restored you, and led you into the purpose I prepared for you long before the world ever knew your name. I have never left you. I never will. Walk with confidence. Walk with hope. Walk with me always.